If you guys missed parts 1, 2, or 3, this is our beautiful team that we're rocking with, led by our fearless quarterback, Dan Marino, also known as Dagger Dick Dan. On the defensive side of the ball, we got bum-ass Ronnie Lott at free safety, and our strong safety is our captain, Ed Reed. Captain used to be Ronnie Lott, but that man has let me down one too many times, so Ed Reed's taking over, baby. As you know, Patriots offense, Chicago Bears defense, and we're getting into game 16. Our record currently 14-1. And you can see the big smile on my face. I'm very happy at this moment. And the reason I'm happy, we just matched up with Princey D. If you guys don't know who that is, he was the last matchup in the last video, and he quit out immediately. So we get the ball to start. He run commits. We throw a touchdown, and our dude Princey D said, you know what? I know you're on a time crunch. I know you got a lot of games to play. Your peer has conceded the game an easy victory, which I will never complain about. And then on top of that, we get a 73+ gold player after, and we pull an 88 overall out of that. So it's just dubs after dubs. I'm feeling good at this point because we've just been stacking the W's, sir, and now we're 15-1. This is my best start all year, but then we match up with Y Slot God. And I've said this before in videos, but if I match up with somebody and they have a Madden-specific gamer tag, I automatically assume it's going to be a sweat. Like, the only reason you would make your PSN dedicated to Madden is if you play this game a lot and you're a sweat. But it do not matter because Jerry Rice burns his guy. We get an easy touchdown to start the game. And so now if we get a stop, I'm going to be feeling pretty good about this game. Because, as you guys have probably noticed in my most recent games, I've been starting out very rough in the last few games, playing from behind quite a bit. And so a game where we could actually start out on top, I would feel very confident about our chances of winning that game. So we got the screamers in there. The pressure on the quarterback forced an errant throw. Mike Haynes able to dive and get the interception. But I think even if that was a good throw, my user was underneath the route. So would have been a pick either way. And I asked if we could start out on top. And guess what? We got to stop early. We scored early. So this is what we wanted. Now it's my game to lose. I don't know what that route combo was, but the spacing was horrible. Darren Waller still makes a catch, gets a big chunk of yardage, and we are in opponent territory, able to go up 2 possessions as long as we do not turn the ball over. Thank you, EA, for that one. Taking another look, you see, obviously we got hit as we threw it, and Kevin Green with a great catch. I feel like tipped passes at the line get intercepted so often this year. It's kind of insane, and obviously 100% chance. So I would like it if EA toned that down a little bit. I don't think linemen need to be catching picks as often as they do, but that's just my opinion. 2nd-and-1 now. You see Zach Wilson rolling out, throws cross body into coverage. Jalen Ramsey dropping the interception, though, so he lives to fight another day. And I mean, that's pretty frustrating, but that's just Madden 22. Thankfully, the defense gets a sack right after that, forcing a 2nd-and-20. And we're continuing to send heat at him. And honestly, that is the way you got to play in this game, I feel like. However, Mike Haynes gets beat deep by speed-boosted Randy Moss. So keeping in mind that Randy Moss has 99 speed, I might need to switch up how we're covering him. I actually think I moved Charles Woodson over to that side of the field because I think Charles Woodson is a bit faster and better than Mike Haynes. But now we're back on the offensive side of the ball. It's a tie game. Even though we started out on top, he kind of erased that, and now we're back to even here, boys. And not only that, I'm in a 2nd-and-24, so I feel like I'm in a little bit of a disadvantage. We got to convert this 3rd-and-7. I do not want to get to a 4th down. Patterson on the check down makes a great spin move. And I've spoken very highly of Cordero Patterson thus far. And you can see why his little beautiful ballerina spins always get me going. And then we followed up with a great pass, Darren Waller, who's going to take it 60 yards, outrun Anthony Barr's bitch ass. And we get in the end zone as a 2-minute warning hits. Now we kicked it off to Sean Taylor. Sean Taylor not known for his carrying. And then we cleaned his clock. 1-800-CLOCK cleaners, you call us. We'll clean your clock. So we get the ball back again. That was the advantage I felt like we really needed because we're up 7, a minute 30 on the clock. He would have had an opportunity to go down and tie up the game at the end of half and then get the ball right back. But that gifted turnover from EA gives us an opportunity to take off a little clock. We made him burn 2 timeouts. We went up 14. So now he's in a little bit of a predicament where he needs to get 7 points on this drive. And on top of that, he doesn't have any time. We send a lot more pressure. We end up getting the safety. So we go up by 16, I believe that was, getting the ball back, and connection to your peer has been lost. So the Y Slot God was defeated. He was slain, if you will. What does that make me? Am I the U-Trips Titan? And I mean, the more I think about it, the more
that name grows on you. You shall now refer to me as the U-Trips Titan, or I shall curse your family for eternity. Refer to me by my title, or feel my wrath.
Man, back to the game. Anyways, you guys might have noticed we matched up with a pro player. His name is VA Dimes. I believe he won the Baltimore Ravens Club Championship a few years back. And you guys are noticing his scheme. It's a lot of audibles, a lot of QB runs, options, misdirections, jet sweep right here. He gets to the outside and he scores on his opening drive. And I knew who this guy was. I've played him in the past. I know he's a great opponent, and I know that his scheme is very different. It's not meta, and that makes it even harder to stop because you don't know what to expect. And to be honest, in all honesty, he plays a lot like the real-life Ravens. I know he's a Ravens fan, but what you're noticing is he's running a lot with Marcus Mariota, and Mariota doesn't have high carrying, and I noticed also he was juking and, you know, spinning and stuff, and so I was expecting this game to get a fumble. But let's talk about this throw right here. I saw it was man coverage across the board, and that's the only reason I threw that. It was still an incredibly stupid throw, but I knew if I threw it there to Randy Moss, who had a step on his guy, the other guys in man coverage weren't going to react to that pass. I clicked on aggressive caught, and now we got the ball on his territory, down 7 points. We're in the second quarter now, so this touchdown is pretty important. We wait a while on this throw, but we end up finding our curl route wide open. Now we're inside the 10, 3rd and goal from the 3. We run this pass play, and I was a little bit bummed out because that was my 2-point play, right? So I would rather have run that on the 2-point, but we had to use it on 3rd and goal to make sure we scored. And then on the 2-point, we ran the second play that isn't as effective. He played great defense, and we didn't get the 2-point conversion. So now we're actually losing. There's only 3 minutes left in the half, and if he wanted to, he could drive down to the clock and go up 2 possessions right here, but he tries to take a shot up top, and big boy Ronnie Lott comes up with the interception. I know I've been hating on Ronnie a lot, but I do appreciate the efforts right there to get the pick. But as you guys can see, this man coverage is doing a pretty good job of bagging us. We end up finding a route bounce playmaker a little bit later in the play, but I mean, that's not something I can make a living on. I'm going to have to find a new way to get yards. Looks like Cordero Patterson deep burned his man coverage on the wheel route. And once again, guys, Cordero just showing why he is so good in this game. I don't really know what it is. His speed is solid, but it's something about like his elusiveness and like he's a great receiver. It's just, I don't know. I love that man, Cordero. And the next 2-point conversion after the touchdown, we end up getting the 2-point conversion. So now that earlier blunder on the 2-point is erased, we're up 7 points. And there's a minute left in the half. So he could go down and get 7. I get the ball back to start the second half. But my goal here is obviously trying to lead in any way, shape, or form going into halftime. Because coming out in the second half, if I score on that opening drive, I would love to go up by 2 possessions. That would just make me one happy camper. And as you can see, he's still running with Mariota. He's still taking hits. I don't think he's on conservative because I've seen him juking and spinning. But he's not fumbling. And I'm expecting at some point this game, I want to get a fumble. Here we got him in a 4th and 8. This is a huge down right here. And this running back wheel was giving me a lot of problems. He ends up converting off of it. And the reason it was so difficult is because he audibled between 3 or 4 different formations like every single play. So you guys aren't really seeing it because I'm cutting that out because it takes a long time. But with all those audibles, it's really hard to keep track of what formation called what play, knowing when I should man up the running back, when I should use it. It's just really tough. And so he ends up getting 3 points at the end of half. But we do still have that 4-point lead, and we get the ball in the second half. I need this man to not be the one. Dude, I was just saying I need this man not to be the one to take this out because I'm going to fumble. Why is Ed Reed returning kicks, bro? I was trying to go down too. A little bit of a bummer, man. Ed Reed returning kicks. I don't really know why he was in there. I think that's just my fault. I shouldn't have him as my backup kick returner. And as I was going down, I took a huge hit stick, and we end up giving up 7 points that way. So our lead now is erased, and we're actually trailing 3 points in the second half. Thankfully, we do have the ball, though, so if we go down and get 7, we're going to be in an okay position. He is running a lot of man coverage. He's been switching it up between man coverage, match, and stuff like that. We had a wheel route up the sideline. That's Devin Hester, who makes a great catch, and now we are in the red zone at the 18-yard line. Now, I had the in route coming in across. It was wide open, but the blocking did not hold up, so we get caught in a 3rd and 17, down 3 points. I really want to go for the first down, and even though we get hit, it's going to be a 4th and short. I wanted to go for it, but chat talked me out of it. The chat, honestly, was my angel on my shoulder because kicking 3 there is the right decision. I would rather tie up the game. Like I said, I feel like I'm going to get a fumble at some point in this game, and I just feel like my defense has been playing pretty solid, so there's no need to really get too aggressive on offense. But as you can see here, he's running these RPO, like, I guess it's not the RPO glitch anymore, but Marcus Mariota doing a little play action. I don't even know what to call it. Speed option, something like that, and he takes off for a touchdown with 150 left in the game. So now we're down 7 again. I see the running back wheel route, Cordero Patterson, just coming up huge every time. And the goal here is to drain down the rest of the clock, get 7 points, tie up the game, take this into overtime. Just normally I would go for 2, but the fact that he's been doing a really good job on these 2-point plays. I don't really trust myself to get 2 points, and so I'd rather just try to get the touchdown and go into overtime. But you notice we're doing a really good job with the clock here. We got 2 timeouts. We continually are throwing to the sideline, getting solid yardage, and right there, I should have got tackled in bounds, but we end up getting out of bounds, and that saves a timeout, and in this situation, that is huge because it takes a lot of plays sometimes to score inside the 20. We end up finding Waller, though, on a really nice out route, but we gave him 15 seconds. So we tied up the game, and 15 seconds, I did a pretty good job with the clock, but that's just enough time for him to do something. I believe that's like 2 plays, and he connects with a crosser on the first one. So with 7 seconds left, he's actually in a position where he could get a field goal. He throws it up, and thankfully our user was there. This was very scary because as you could see, one of the tight ends was manned up and the other one was not. I didn't remember which one was manned up because they were so jumbled together. So last second, I saw the tight end was going to be open. Swerve got the incompletion, and the game is headed to overtime. Now, unfortunately, in overtime, as you can see, we are not starting with the ball. I would have loved to start with the ball, go down and score, but it looks like we're going to have to play some defense. We're doing a pretty good job in the run game so far. Get him in a 3rd and 5. But once again, you guys are going to notice after all these audibles, it's just hard to, keep your defense set up in a way you're happy with, because you set it up one way and then he audibles to a different formation, and then you got to like try to make hot routes, then it catches you off guard. It's just a really hard scheme to play consistent defense on. And so the main thing I'm continuing to look at is that running back wheel. I know he's thrown it a few times already. We almost got an interception right here. If that wasn't swatted, if you take a look, Ed Reed with mid-zone KO is about to make a play on this. He's got acrobat as well. I believe that was going to be a pick, but we end up getting him to a 2nd and 10. He tries to run it. Big hit right there. We blitzed a few guys. We get him in a 3rd and 16. So 3rd and 16 right here. I was kind of looking at that running back wheel, but then I saw the post was going to be a bigger threat. But as you can see, I kind of looked like I was going to run to the wheel, and then I peeled back to the post. We had pressure in there, so we had to make a bang-bang decision. He made the wrong decision. Unfortunately, it's just a bad throw, so we didn't get the pick. But we do get him in a 4th and long here. And I've been blitzing pretty much all game nonstop. This time I went with really heavy coverage, and he blocked 7. So that mind game right there paid off. You can see everything is pretty much bagged, and now we just wait. Boom, we get the stop, man. I would have loved for that to not be intercepted, but, I'll take what I can get at this point. And a huge block from Charles Woodson gets us a big return. We're only 5 yards out of field goal range. Take a look at that. Charles Woodson just running down and laying the wood. And you know what they say, man, 1-800-CLOCK-CLEANERS. You call us, we'll clean your clock. And our boy Charles, he's on the clock, cleaning clocks. And so with that, we get the ball in field goal range. We kick it, and the overtime victory is complete. And I got to say, I was very happy with this win. I feel like in the first half, we kind of played better than him. And then after that fumble 6 coming out of halftime, the momentum was all on his side, and I felt like we were playing catch up the rest of the game. So we were able to pull it out. We are now 17-1, still on this crazy win streak, getting into game 19. Starting out game 19, we're going against a guy named Refuse to Lose. This guy's also in U-Trips. So it's going to be U-Trips versus U-Trips, and he's starting off the game with an onside kick. Thankfully, he did not recover, but it doesn't really matter because I start off most games with an interception. And if I would have waited a second or two, the curl flat out there or whatever zone drop probably would have came inside or down, and I would have been able to throw that. But I got a little skittish. I threw it too early, and we start by throwing an interception. So that is very unfortunate. And we're going to have to come out and play some defense here. Looks like Ramsey had a free interception and decides to drop it because why not drop it? Why would you catch an interception? Well, why would you do that? So it's 1st and 10. He continues his drive after we don't get our interception back. And now he's driving a little bit. The one thing I do feel confident about is the fact that I run U-Trips as well. I kind of feel like I know generally the plays that he's going to want to go to. We almost got the sack right there, but he ends up throwing a comeback. Great throw by him. But overall, I just felt like if we don't give up any big plays, I'm going to get a turnover on this drive. Maybe not this drive, but I'm going to get turnovers in this game. I don't really believe that this guy's going to be able to just drive down and do what he wants to me. Pause every single drive. I think that overall my defense is going to play better than his offense. And that's just, that's just confidence speaking here. You saw he was in a 2nd and inches. We stuffed him there. 3rd and 1, we stuffed him. We get him in a 4th and 4. We're only sending a 3-man rush. We manned up the running back because I know how good that running back wheel is. Tries to throw it, and we get the stop. So I told you guys, I felt like our defense was going to come up big. We got him into the red zone, got him in a position where he wanted to go for it on 4th down, and we ended up getting the turnover on down. So that was absolutely huge to erase that first pick we threw. And now we're in the 2nd quarter. It's like a fresh start. I'm feeling way better now, and as long as I don't do anything stupid again, I think we're going to be okay and get points on this drive. So Dan Marino gets the job done with his legs. We get another 1st down, now across the 50, and we're just kind of looking here. Not much is open. We tried to throw the hitch, which was wide open late, and then it somehow counted it as a fumble. Jerry Rice picks it up, gets positive yardage, and it's just like we completed the pass. Let's just pretend we completed the pass, okay? After that, we throw it to the flats, score a touchdown, take our first points of the day. I told you guys we were gonna get points on this drive. We decided to go for 2. Now, unfortunately, my left tackle is bitch made and gets thrown to the ground. We get sacked and do not convert the 2-point conversion. So what was about to be a glorious moment is now kind of a shitty situation, especially because he follows it up with a great dot on the sideline, and Ronnie Lott, once again, just not able to get there. I think I need a new safety for Ronnie Lott because Ed Reed covers that sideline in a cover 2 amazingly. I think part of it has to do with the mid-zone KO, and I'm not sure Ronnie Lott gets mid-zone KO for the right AP. So we might be replacing Lott up there. We might move Lott down into the box and then bring somebody else back up there who gets mid-zone KO. And as Lil Uzi Vert says, it do not matter because Charles Woodson jumped up and got the interception. I don't think that last part is in the song, but you guys get the picture here. Our ball again, we got 6-0 lead. If we get 3 points here, which that dot puts us in field goal range, and shoot down the rest of the clock, we're gonna go up 2 possessions, and honestly, that's the name of the game for me. Let's go up 2 possessions here. Let's run the ball, take off the rest of this clock. So nice run stick gets us to the 12-yard line, and we're gonna keep letting this clock drip. Now only 15 seconds and a half, and a 3rd down. He does a little speed burst glitch, which if you guys didn't know how to do, it's kind of crazy. If you look at that, he just shoots the gap on a little speed burst. Bullshit. You just kind of spam secure tackle, which is like X on PlayStation, A on Xbox, and you just move your stick around in a circle like that. It's really not difficult at all, and I don't know when they're going to patch that, but hopefully soon. And another bad read from my opponent at the end of half there. Actually, I don't really think that was a bad read. He just probably was throwing it up because it was the end of half. But something you guys are probably noticing is my pressure has been coming in very, very nicely. And I think that's forcing him to rush reads and make bad reads in the first place. So it's really important to me to have a blitz that can come in. And even if it doesn't come in, you get block sheds like right there, because if you're sending 5-man blitz every time, a lot of times they're going to send 5 out, and you're going to have a lot of one-on-ones. One of those guys is bound to get a block shed of the 5. And once again, on 3rd and 22, looks like we got a block shed in there, and he was forced to make a read that I don't think he really was proud of. So up 9-0, late in the 3rd quarter, we get the turnover. And now at this point, if I can get a touchdown here, I think we win this game. I already think the game is close to over, but if we chew down the rest of this clock, get some points, I think we're going to be okay. Cordero Patterson finds a nice hole. We get our touchdown, and now we're going for 2. If we get this, it's going to be a 3-possession lead here. So this is pretty important. We get some nice blocking, and boom, we get the 2-point conversion, and the game is now 17-0. So late in the 3rd quarter, up 3 possessions. I don't really care. I think the game is as good as over. And even if he gets a 1-play touchdown like he did right there, and I mean, let's look at Ronnie Lott, man, because I've been saying he seems slow. He has 97 speed. Watch him just get absolutely toasted when trying to chase after Brandon Marshall. Now, the only thing I can think of is that this guy might have had the speed boost on Brandon Marshall, which would have given him, I think, 99 speed if he's on a theme team. I'm not really sure, but to me, that's just crazy, the fact that a 97 speed player like Ronnie Lott just looks so sluggish out there. But regardless, we end up driving down after he tries an onside kick. We only get probably 10, 15 yards, but we're able to kick a field goal, and that makes it a 14-point game because my opponent foolishly went for it. He went for 2 after the touchdown, which when you're down 17-0, going for 2 after your first touchdown doesn't give you any added benefit. On top of that, he didn't get it. So now we have a full 2-touchdown lead, and that's just not really, I don't know, just not a smart decision by him if he actually was serious about coming back in this game. But honestly, the way our defense has been playing, it wasn't really on the table in the first place. We get an interception there late in the 4th quarter, already up 2 possessions, and that is going to do it. We let Ed Reed get tackled, and our opponent quits out from there. So GG's to my opponent. We get another victory, and in that game, I felt like our defense played amazing, and that brings our record to 18-1. And going into game 20 here, we get matched up with the man Chopper, who's got Michael Vick, all these abilities, all these morphed most feared players. And we're going to have to deal with that this game. Starting out on the offensive side of the ball, we go with a 1-play touchdown. Not really the smartest decision to start off the game like that all the time. I don't know. Puts us in a hole early. Then we get in a 3rd and 19. He's running like man press. Randy Moss up top has his man beat, but JC Horn, being as fast as he is, catches up, hits the ball loose, and now we're in a 4th and 19. And I got to give myself props here. The ball's on me, and the ball's on Dagger Dick Dan to fit that ball in there on 4th and 19 between 4 defenders. Darren Waller with a great catch too. Just a great play all around, man. And we end up converting, keeping the drive alive, and now we bomb him with the cover 3 beater. Devin Hester, wide open, baby. First points of the day. We forgot to go for 2, though, so it's only a 7-0 lead. But this right here is absolutely hilarious. We pooch kick it to the fullback. He moves out of the way, which you should not do because that ball doesn't always go out of bounds. And he picks it up, and we tackle him for a user safety. So just like that, we're up 2 possessions. We get the ball back. and I'm immediately going into chew clock mode because, like I said, the time was getting closer and closer to the end of Weekend League, and we still had 6 games to go. So I had to get these games done as fast as possible. We chew clock all the way down the field, go for it on 4th and goal to make this a 17-point game. That was the goal, and we don't get it. So now it's my opponent's ball, 3 minutes on the clock in the first half, and he could go down, chew the clock, score, and we could go into half 7-9. Him getting the ball back. That would not be a good situation. Thankfully, he makes a couple blind reads, and we get the interception. We get the ball right back. And Diablo, unfortunately, can't get into the end zone, but we get down to the 1-yard line. Right here, he's running goal line. We go with the pass. Randy Moss just lets it hit right off his head. I guess he doesn't like touchdowns. What's wrong with you, Randy? Catch that bitch. And you get a free touchdown, man. Doesn't matter, though. 3rd and goal. We hand it out to Marshawn Lynch. He falls forward into the end zone, and it's a 16-0 game. This guy has not shown me anything on offense. He's just throwing blind read after blind read. And the big boy, Warren Sapp, runs down the field, gets a tipped interception. And so now we're up 16-0. It's our ball. There's only a minute left in the first half. We just chew down the clock, take our 3. It's a 3-possession ball game, and coming out in the second half, I don't know if this guy still thought he had life in the game, but he's still fighting his ass off. I'm not going to lie. We drop another interception. Surprise, surprise. And on 3rd and 10, I've told you guys before, if you drop a pick, your opponent is going to score on that drive. It's just what happened. I don't know how we ran commit. There's been like a glitch in the game. I've been like accidentally run committing lately, despite that never happening before. But it doesn't really matter. We're still up 19-8. It's our ball. We're just chewing clock and moving the ball at will. This guy doesn't really have an answer for anything we're doing. And as we just chew down the rest of the clock, his hopes of coming back just drift away further and further. 4th and inches right here. This is pretty much his last chance. We get the first down, go down, and going to continue to chew that clock. He quits out. I think he knew at that point it was pretty much GG's. And that brings our record to 19-1, boys. This is by far my best start this year, and we still got 5 games to go. So if you want to see how we finish Weekend League, tune in tomorrow for games 21 to 25, and you can see how we finished on the weekend. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like down below. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I'll be seeing you guys in the next one.
Now I'm on the outside.